Welcome to today's session on discussing RBI's descriptive previous year questions. In today's session, we are going to take up a 10-marker question that had appeared in RBI 2020 mains. So the question for today is, what are the various challenges faced by startups in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities? So let's see how we approach such question. Typically, we divide the question into three parts, namely production, body, and confusion. So let's discuss each part of the answer in detail. In introduction, we are going to talk about India's startup economy journey. Right? So we'll talk about how India becoming third largest startup ecosystem. Introduction would also talk about how startups have driven innovation, created jobs, and boosted economic growth. Also, we have to drive the introduction towards the demand of the question. So, as we can see here, we have written major metropolitan cities have become a hub of entrepreneurial activity. But there is a recognition of potential of startups in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. Also, we have written in introduction itself that these Tier 2, Tier 3 startups are facing set of challenges. Now we have made our introduction clear so that we can proceed to our body. So in body of the question, we'll get freedom to express our opinion. In this case, the challenges faced by the startups. Also, we have to be sure that we come under the word limit of 400 words so that other questions are not affected. Let's discuss the body of the answer. First, we have limited access to funding. So if we compare the quantum of funding with metropolitan cities, here we can also discuss investors' risk aversion and sticking to the mainstream mindset. Next comes lack of infrastructure. We can talk about dearth of real estate, technology parks, networking opportunities in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. And we can also compare it with metropolitan facilities. Third comes talent acquisition and retention. Here we can discuss youth's preference to work in metropolitan cities, living with better salaries and better amenities, having better living standards. Next comes market awareness and customer reach. Here we can discuss smaller target population, lower consumer spending power, difficulty in reading the market trends when it comes to tier 2, tier 3 cities as we compare it with metropolitan cities. Another one is limited ecosystem support. Here we can write about fewer mentorship opportunities, networking events, incubation supports for startups. So these can create hindrance to the growth of startups. Well, apart from these points discussed above, we can also include regulatory hurdles, bureaucratic red tape that appear in tier 2 and tier 3 cities. Also, the perception and stigma among investors, customers, and entrepreneurs cannot be ignored regarding smaller cities being less innovative or competitive as compared to larger ones. Now, we'll conclude our answer. We'll conclude our viewpoint expressed in our answer. So here we have to provide an optimistic outlook on how the expressed challenges can be combated, right? So here we are talking about concerted efforts from various stakeholders that are necessary to remove the hurdles. Well, interestingly, if we see the current market trends, funding of tier 2 and tier 3 startups is on the rise. In 2023, 90% of the startups emerged from tier 2 and tier 3 cities. Technically, this is contradictory to our question, but we can utilize this in our conclusion. We can talk about how the present situation is improving and how the above discussed challenges are coming to resolution. So, this completes our answer. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.